It's Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to shows and read reviews online at wcbe.org.
I'm John
I'm
DeSando.
Wayne Miller.
It's movie time.
It's movie time, and John, what's the movie?
Listen,
Big guess.
you don't even have to know the title. You just have to say Tom Cruise.
Yeah. And
Wow.
not to be confused with another one that people are really looking forward to, that also has been in a long production, and that's the next Mission Impossible.
Yeah, again.
But this one, it's Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, it's Cruise is back, and let me tell you, you don't have to have seen the first Top Gun to appreciate this, and you can, if you want, be cynical and just see how this 59-year-old man holds up against the 20-something hotshot pilots.
Yep.
And boy, does he do it.
He does, and he really, except for some of the close-ups, really does it there. It hasn't aged that much, particularly compared with his co-star, Iceman, played by Val Kilmer in the first one, who comes aboard with this one as an admiral and dying of cancer. And who definitely, and I think they must have used a lot of makeup on that guy. And the one thing I remember reading, very interesting, he lost about 8 years ago because of throat cancer, his ability to speak. When he does kind of whisper in this movie, it was all done, it was some sort of new application that they did and taking some of his old speech patterns and everything. And basically he was just kind of mouthing dubbed words.
Well, some of us have seen his documentary just recently, which is a brilliant documentary, Val Kilmer, and I just so much admire him even in that documentary. He's just plowing ahead. He doesn't care he can't speak. He's compensating. But anyway, yes, he does appear, and you know something? It's even more poignant in that it's really just a cameo. But between the two of them, you can see there's a strong connection, even if it's just cinematic.
Well, I think it runs deeper than that, because I was reading that Cruise insisted that Kilmer be part of the movie, that he wouldn't do it unless Kilmer was aboard.
Great.
And so there's a strong friendship there. And talking about friendships, one of the main things, and just to get it out of the way with, I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought the acting was good, the plot structure, of course there were some things that looked a little bit to be, a little unbelievable, which I thought the ending was rather interesting, I thought, but still it worked.
Oh yeah, I mean it's riddled with cliches. But they just do it with sincerity, honesty, and they know that this is a formula. It's an action film. In fact, you and I are going to be doing something on Cinema Classics on action movies next week. So, it just inspires you to look back on action movies and see how it sets up. And because Cruise imprint is on the whole thing, there's a quality about it that elevates it and makes it the smash of the summer so far.
And it was very well received at the Cannes Film Festival. And what was interesting, when the movie started, there's like a minute or so long little introduction to the movie by Cruise, talking about the movie, that wanting to make this movie for you, the fans, and thanks for sticking with it, because the production started way back, pre-pandemic, back in they were really putting stuff together as soon as 2018, but then 2019. And it got me thinking, so many people, and they're hoping for a lot of the baby boomer generation who remembers and fondly remembers the first movie. It's hard to believe, 36 years ago. And Cruise was a young 23-year-old who up to that time was mostly known for a few films like The Outsiders, but also particularly Risky Business. And this just literally like jet off an aircraft carrier catapulted him into stardom.
Well, the Cannes crowd gave him, I heard, a 5-minute standing ovation.
Which was only beat by another movie that got a 12-minute one. I can't remember, but which it was. But you got talking about friendship, And a big part of this whole thing is the friendship, not only that Cruise had for his former rival, Iceman, but also particularly his buddy Goose.
Yeah.
And that basically Anthony Edwards stole that movie, I thought, back then.
And they didn't give Miles Teller really the chance to steal this movie.
No, but I think particularly in several scenes, and when he was playing the piano and singing, it really brought to mind back in Top Gun, Goose doing the same thing. And I really thought, wow,
well,
he does a good job channeling what is.
And I immediately thought about Whiplash, where I last saw Miles Teller, and he was again a student with J.K. Simmons, who was the teacher and won the Oscar for that role. And I thought this again is besides the many things that this is, it's a story about teaching and learning.
Teaching and learning, and humility, like you did in your written review.
For sure.
I really, and I thought Cruise did a great, vulnerable job, much more so than he did even when Goose died back in the original movie. I mean, the guy, and I think he had not only a lot of young actors and crusty old actors like John Hamm and Ed Harris.
Oh, you know, I want Lauren Harris. Come on.
I think Hamm's character at one time, or maybe it was Harris, said something. You know, you could have been. It was Harris. You could have been a rear admiral at least by now, with all your citations and everything else. But despite your best efforts, you're still alive, and you refuse to retire or take a promotion.
And I think he also says, you know, you guys are a thing of the past. It's all going to get taken out. And so you know, in a sense, he was saying like you're the past. And he says, and then Cruise responds, maybe so, sir, but not today.
Yeah. But he was good. But also, I thought he played off very well. Cruise played off very well Jennifer Connelly as the love interest.
Wonderful.
I thought she did a great job.
They didn't bring back Kelly McGillis.
No, and we both have talked about probably why. But one of the things I was reading, at least Cruise and Connelly had a chemistry that was kind of lacking like Cruise McGillis. And one review was saying that a thinly written role for her, but her gutsiness breathes life into it.
Yes.
And I thought it was very good. But what's amazing, that so little CGI. This was a lot of live footage, and a lot of live footage.
A lot of in the cockpit stuff.
Of Cruise actually flying the darn thing. And I thought, wow, he's doing really good when he's catapulted off the aircraft carrier, which was all live, with a little camera in the cockpit. As he's kind of like zooming around in the canyon, that as they were practicing for this run. But it's kind of like, I bet a lot of people, a lot of younger people particularly, were wondering, who were we bombing? And of course, I could kind of figure out, because there's not a lot of...
Well, there's no identification for the enemy.
Yeah. There's one thing that they talked about, something Iranian, whatever. So yeah, it was kind
because
of like...
even their helmets are blackened, so you can't see who they are.
I bet it reminded me of a lot of the dogfight sequences in the Star Wars movies.
But you know, that's the point. And this one is no longer the jingoistic film that the original Top Gun was. It's something more, and to me, it's all the humanity of it, and the growth of the character arc, as opposed to our fighting Russians. It's just a different movie. And
Iran's the new, next to North Korea, the new bad guys.
I know. It used to be the Ukraine, actually. These guys in leather jackets.
Yeah.
Who were showing up as the bad guys.
I know, no, the poor Ukrainians.
But this is not bad for a young guy at 14 who entered the seminary. He wanted to be a priest. Tom Cruise.
Oh, that's right. And he's got a very severe case of dyslexia, too.
Yeah, and he was cured allegedly, he
Yeah.
said, by Scientology.
Yeah, well, and that's an interesting point to bring up because, as usual, to prepare for our broadcast and podcast, I read a lot of reviews, a lot of articles. One was about some of the people that who hate Scientology say we should not praise the movie too much or Tom Cruise because that gives Scientology kind of fuel, for their propaganda, that all such a well-loved guy, but somebody else said, but the thing of it is, Scientology just uses celebrities as ornaments.
Sure.
Even as much as they say, and even Cruz says that he's got a lot of big say-so about the policies of the cult.
He's just an amazing entertainer, and when you consider all the baggage, his marriages alone, we could take a whole show just on those.
And he's dating, which I guess they broke up for a while, but his co-star in this next Mission Impossible movie, and they just got back together, a young lady that was part of the Marvel universe. Something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, but he's dating again.
They're dating again, and she's really a very classy, intelligent, and beautiful British woman.
Yeah. And again, for Cruz, such an interesting human being, his whole sexual orientation is arguable, right? At least, let's say, in the trades and everywhere, there's a subtle talk about that, but he is almost hands off.
Where this one review was talking about, they didn't even have a gratuitous shower scene in this one.
No,
they had
they don't.
3 of them in the, they talked about the homoeroticism in the first one.
Right. And in this one, it's just appropriate for a man in his late 50s. His relationship with Connolly in this one is just mature, right? She is so much more now of an individual as far as somebody in this one. She owns her own business. And she's kind of like, it's nice to see him again, but she can do without it.
And her cute little teenage daughter, who as he's trying to sneak out of the house after a one-night stand, and the girl comes home early from a friend's house.
All right, Wayne Miller, I know we just don't have any more time. If people want to hear more about this, they better go to Back Talk on the podcast experience, because they're going to get more. Okay. Otherwise, your advice is?
Oh, definitely see it. It is the movie of the summer.